the men built a bunch of houses in the forest, never thinking about the refugees who came to live. One is more outrageous than the other, and the normal room is simply not a problem. Finally met the petty tree elf. As a result, they only want to stay in the dirt. It is also said that relying on photosynthesis can be self-sufficient. In this regard, the male protagonist is also very speechless, and the house he worked hard to build is not useful. At first, the male protagonist only knew the approximate number of people who could live there. The race and body type of the other party are completely unclear. Therefore, the houses are built to normal specifications. Currently, Big Tree Village is on the right side of the river. Considering a series of contingencies, such as rebellion, the location of the new village was chosen on the left side of the river. There happened to be a big tree with a thick and awakening tree there. After confirming the site selection, first of all we must open up forests and create roads. But the problem is, the wood here is hard. It is difficult to cause damage with ordinary tools. It can only be handed over to the male protagonist as usual. Thanks to the all-powerful dragon path given by the gods, it didn't take long for it to be over. The male protagonist built a wooden bridge deck on the river again. The reason for picking small things, it is to avoid large monsters through here. Then the male protagonist cleaned up the surroundings of the new stronghold. Then dig from the upper reaches of the river to create artificial drinking channels. In just a few days, the reservoir and wood processing plant were successfully completed. With enough wood, the rest of the work can be left to someone else. The elves are very good at building technology, especially assembly skills. Prepare materials that match the design drawings first. Then everyone will divide the labor and cooperate. Stitching, molding. With the efforts of everyone, the whole process can be said to be very smooth. A few days later, the house was successfully completed and could be called. But the angel came suddenly. The training camp said, the Dragon King has brought the refugees over now. Drum was going to give advance notice, but because of the urgency of the situation, so he copied the latter dragon. These migrants came as half-humans, generally more than 2 people in height. Standing with them, the male protagonist feels very stressed. After hearing that they even had a problem with Wenbao, the male protagonist arranged a meal for him. Fortunately, the food in the village is still sufficient, but the male protagonist does not know about this race. I don't know if they have taboos. At this time, a lizard man took the initiative to call himself. Previously lived with centaurs, so the male protagonist handed over the task of sorting out one piece to him. But soon, new problems arise again. Half-human tall and large horses are completely incompatible with the size of the house. If you live in it, it will definitely be uncomfortable. The male protagonist is also very helpless. It had to be temporarily placed in a guest hotel. At this moment, Rem came with another message saying, his father also brought a group of fearful people. A centaur who escaped due to the outbreak of war.
It is a good interview!
Because the centaur is related to his hometown, so he proposed that he be in charge of it. Subsequently, several people came to the house but found that the size was still not suitable, nor can you use magic to make yourself smaller. So at the suggestion of the vampire wife, the 104 centaurs were placed in the dungeon. For the time being, I squeezed with a half-human snake. Soon after, another group of young women came to the village. The person looking back is still holding a stump. Everyone was silent, only the stump was in charge of speaking. It turns out that they are a family of tree elves and have the power to assimilate with plants. Whenever it encounters danger, it will become a tree. Once injured, will not be able to change back into human form for the time being. All they need is fertile soil, clean water and bright sunshine. The male protagonist wants to arrange a house for them to live in, but the other party just wants to stay outside. Finally, the new house was left to the half-human child. The centaur temporarily borrowed the bullpen. As for the tree spirits, they have been standing in the fields at night.
The day when we are used to this situation will come, yes.
The above is the main content of the first episode of the second season of One World Leisurely Farmhouse. Next, add some settings and details. First of all, as the number of village members increases, the workload of civil servants also increases. For this reason, Rem deliberately fooled several helpers from the Demon King City and tell them that apples can be eaten as much as they want, and they can touch them casually. As a result, all the members were mixed with Xiaohai and the butt pat. There was a similar scene in the first season. It seems to have become a tradition for new members to enter the village. The second is the tools used by the elves. It is equivalent to the level in modern decoration. Core function of the instrument is to detect whether the wooden structure is vertical and horizontal. The reason why it is so skillfully operated, it is because the elves have been wandering outside for 200 years. Basically, all kinds of techniques have been learned. As for the problem of inconsistent house size, it really made the elf sister a little tired, but this also leads to the main plot later. The first is to replan the house design. The other is to prepare food, clothing and daily necessities, etc. How will the specific animation behave? Let's wait and see.